Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Join FDNY. I'm your host, Battalion Chief Michele Fitzsimmons. We're celebrating Women's History Month, and I had the great opportunity to speak with two of the charter members of Squad 8. I spoke with Firefighter Lacy Higgins and Melissa Bennett. They were both started in EMS. They went on to become firefighters and then eventually joined Squad 8. Let's take a look at that interview. I'm here today with two of our charter members of Squad 8. I have Firefighter Melissa Bennett and Firefighter Lacy Higgins. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chief.
Morning. So jump right in. Can you each tell me about how it is that you came to join the FDNY? We'll start with you, Melissa.
All right, so growing up in a Caribbean household, I had no idea about the fire department, being a firefighter. That wasn't a conversation in my household. I got to college now, and my EMT final conflicted with my geology final. So I went to the professor and I said, listen, is it possible that I could postpone this exam for my EMT final? He said, EMT, what about firefighter? I said, firefighter? There's no women firefighter in the department. And he connected me to Kinga Milnick, which was his former student. Mm-hmm. I spoke to her, and she said, it's a great opportunity. It's less than 30 women on the job. So I said, challenge accepted. So it harnessed my competitive nature, and I got a career in helping people. So here I am.
That's great. Yeah. Lacy?
Yeah. Oddly enough, my story is somewhat similar. When I was in college, I went to SUNY New Paltz, and they did a bridge program with Ulster Community College to take an EMT course, which was 7 credits, which to me at the time sounded great. It could speed up my process to graduate. And I met some great people. I loved the work. I think I was always looking to do a job in public service. I didn't know if I was going to be in the military or in the fire department or police department. But taking that EMT course really kind of set my trajectory. And I dabbled a little bit in the volunteer fire department up there. Mm-hmm. And I had some good mentors who really encouraged me and pushed me to pursue a career in the fire department. And when I graduated, I came right to the city and started working on the EMS side.
Okay, so you started in EMS?
Yeah.
Did you start in EMS?
I did.
You did too?
I did 2 years in EMS, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you both started in EMS. What was your career in EMS like? Like you did 2 years? How long did you do?
I did about 5 years.
About 5 years, okay.
Yeah.
And how was that for you?
Mine was quick. I did overnights in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, so I had my fair share of trauma, but it was quick.
Right.
So, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I worked in a few different spots. I started in Queens. I lived out in Long Island at the time. And I enjoyed working where I did. I worked at the EMS Academy and then went to medic school through the fire department, which was a great opportunity and really kind of expanded my experience of EMS in general. From there, I went back to Brooklyn. I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and I loved it. I worked overnights as well. Overnights is the way to go, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And from there, once the fire department picked back up in the hiring, I took the promotion exam at that time in 2012.
Yes.
Did you take the same exam?
Same exam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what did you two do to prepare for the firefighter exam? Was there any steps you took to do that?
I had quite a while to think about it, and in that time, the department ran a few sessions. They were kind of, it wasn't steady because there wasn't a start date for the fire department, but whenever they offered sessions, whether it be CPAT exams or coming in for like mock exams, I took advantage of those. And I remember going to some of the sessions and actually meeting some of the women firefighters on the job who were part of those events. And they really were a great resource and kind of put me in the direction of how I should be training for the fire academy. Mm-hmm. And I took their advice, which involved buying a 40-pound vest, walking around doing stairs, and also they really told me to focus on strength training, which was a big asset going into the academy. Mm-hmm.
Same here. I bought a weight vest, and I was married to that weight vest. So I would wear that weight vest with a big hoodie. Yeah. And even when I was in college, in between classes, I'll go to my car and I get that weight vest and just do the Stairmasters until my legs were just wobbling. So, and then running. I hate running. But I had to learn to love running because of this job. So I would go to Fort Greene Park. They have a set of steps and a running trail. So just doing all the physical components, because that was the most intimidating part for me, and attending the CPAT sessions that the job offered, and just staying physically fit.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely like a big part of it, because if it's one huge part of the job you could kind of take out and you don't have to think about going into training, it's very helpful. You know, you don't want to be behind the 8 ball to start the academy or your career. You know, it's a tough place to start. So getting ahead of that was definitely an asset to start.
All right. So you get into the academy. What year did you go through the academy?
2013.
2013.
Same class.
Different class.
Different class.
I didn't have enough time.
Same time.
Yeah, we like to be like right
Right
next
close
to
to each other. Okay.
She's a big sister.
Yeah.
All right. So you go through the academy.
Yeah.
When you finished the academy, where did you end up going?
I went to Engine 253, which is in the 4-3 Battalion in Brooklyn. It's a Coney Island battalion. It's a single engine located on 86th Street in Bensonhurst, which was a few blocks from where my mother grew up in Brooklyn, and I was pretty familiar with the neighborhood. And it was one of those blessings in disguise. I don't have any family members on the job, so I did not have any expectations of where I was going to go or really wanted to go to one spot, because I didn't know one firehouse from the next at the time. And when I got to 253, the members there were awesome. They were open. They, gave me an appropriate hard time when I deserved it. And I met some of my best friends on the job there. And I have like a confidant from there who has gone on. He's a lieutenant now in 10 truck, Zach Ton, awesome dude, my 24 partner. And he's on the captain's list right now. And he is like one of those people who always checks in on me, always pushes me, still to this day will call me and say, what are you doing? Are you studying? Are you working out? You know, he always does that. And it's one of those things I'm really grateful for, having had that experience.
I ended up in Engine 257 in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Double house with the battalion. Great officers that molded me to be who I am today. Great firefighters. And we're just a big family. And even in the recent years, we've been through a lot of pain and a lot of loss, but we're tight-knit, even to this day, not being there, and just amazing firehouse. So great place to start.
Yeah. Okay. So you're both firefighters, and you reach a certain point in your career, and can you talk about getting into Squad 8?
Yeah, you can start.
As charter members, meaning like there wasn't a Squad 8 before,
Nope.
and you two were involved with being the original members of that company when it started.
Right. So I reached a point in my career where I wanted to advance my career, and I said, what's next? What's more out there? And Squad offers the versatility of operating as an engine and a truck, on top of the cool stuff we do with technical rescue. So this opportunity presented itself to start a new company, and it was challenging, but it was a good experience and just amazing to see my name on those walls, and it'll be there forever as a charter member. So good feeling.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I was a little over 5 years on the job and was looking for a new experience and to learn something new. And right there in department orders, they were seeking members for a squad company in Staten Island. I am from Staten Island. I'm familiar with the neighborhoods, and this seemed like a natural step coming, especially from a single engine and wanting to be the absolute best of that, you know. And my familiarity with what SOC did was not that expansive. I didn't have a full understanding of what SOC did. And
can you kind of talk to our listeners a little bit about what that is that Squad does?
Yeah, absolutely. So squads and rescues are in the Special Operations Command in the fire department, and we respond to all 1075s, fires in the city, and emergencies. So we also are on matrices for various emergencies like trench rescues, high angle rescues, confined space rescues, hazmat runs, collapse. And what we are trained to do is to act as the operators in those scenarios. So most truck companies don't have any training in those specialties. There are some SOC support companies that have limited training, and then we come in to execute whatever action needs to take place. And again, having not having the experience of what those units did, Squad 8, when opening up as a new company, allowed all the members to train at one time, which for me was a huge benefit because everybody was on the same level. And we all came in with open eyes, open ears, ready to learn, ready to attack whatever training was thrown at us. And it was by far the best experience I've had in my career on this job.
Right. At Fires, we operate independently sometimes. It allows us to think and make decisions that an officer doesn't have to tell us to do. We're problem solvers. We fill in gaps. So just that independence of making a difference and doing anything. I could stretch a hose line or I could pull ceilings. So it's just cool. So,
right. Yeah, and like understand that like our role is to supplement and to, just aid other members doing the job that they need to do. You know what I mean? Maybe give an extra hand, maybe sometimes just moving a hose line in because there's someone not there in that spot. So it could be as simple as that, or it could be as big as what was happening up in Harlem with the roof rope rescues, assisting in those as well.
Yeah. So you've gotten all the special training. What's your favorite part of what's your favorite little niche of the rest of the the SOC stuff?
So
I know I've gone through some of the training myself. I really like the rope stuff.
Yeah,
that's I'm like, ooh, this is fun.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
So what's your favorite little niche part of it?
So I finally found something that being short and small, I have an advantage, confined space.
I know where you're going.
So there you go. So that's my favorite. It involves ropes and going into tight places. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say similar high angle, anything to do with ropes, I really enjoy. It also, you also deal with a lot of things that I have a background in with EMS and patient packaging and really having the focus on the person that you're dealing with, and then incorporating all this other knowledge that you have as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So you're established in a squad. What kind of recommendations would you have for someone who's interested in joining the department, or even maybe for people who are in the department already and looking, kind of have their horizons of looking for something? What are the things that you would recommend to people?
Good, Lacey.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, certainly, I think that Melissa and I are on the same page, that we are really of the mindset of leaving the door open for the people coming behind us. And by that I mean, we want more people to aspire to learn and to get more training on this job, whatever it may be. And if SOC is the route that somebody wants to take, they can reach out directly either to myself or Melissa or other, if it's women that they're interested in speaking to. You have Jackie Martinez in 270 or Chichi Picaglia in Squad 18. They're all members in the special operations. And we want to ensure that the opportunities that we have had continue for people who've come after us. And honestly, reaching out directly and finding out exactly what it entails is probably one of the most important things. I know it was helpful for me when I joined.
Definitely. I would say stay in the books, drill. Challenge yourself, because a lot of the things we do is very challenging. Find a mentor, somebody that can guide and coach you. Like I said, Lacey and I are available. I get phone calls all the time, and I'm like, listen, bring your rope. Make sure you know that life-saving rope evolution, patient packaging. I'll do whatever you want to do as long as you're willing to put in the work.
Right.
I even make videos of moving ladders. Like I'll be in the backyard by myself and say, listen, hey, this is how you do it, and I'll send it to the person. So just stay in the books. Go on Diamond Plate. There's a lot of great videos. I know it's Buffy, but there's a lot of after-action reviews, tips from training, things like that to polish your skills. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. How about for someone trying to join the department? Are either one of you involved with the mentoring program or anything?
I am. I'm part of the mentoring and recruitment program. I would say staying physically fit. That's the first part. And just, investing in yourself. It's a long process. It's a hard process, but don't give up. And there's going to be challenging days, and just keep pushing and find out, what do you have to do to pass this hardship in your life? So if CPAT is hard, what do I have to do to build myself to get past the Stairmaster? Like I said, I was married to the weight vest. So get a weight vest. If you can't afford a weight vest, get a book bag, put some weights in it. Just train, and we'll help you with the rest. But the physical fitness, that's on you.
Yeah. I mean, when you go to Proby school, some of the big like three, and Melissa could speak more, so it would be physical fitness, you have the books, things that you're studying, technical aspects, and then actually hands-on evolution. So 2 of those 3 are hard to do before you get there because you don't have that experience, but physical fitness, like Melissa's saying, is something that it's easy because you can take care of it, but it's not easy because it requires discipline and it requires coming up with a routine and incorporating it in your everyday life. But if you can take that one of those big legs of the triangle out, that you don't have to worry about when you're in Proby school, I think that would be a huge asset when you attend.
Can you talk a little bit about being women on the job? Like the first, having 2 women in as charter members of squad is a big thing, right?
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
And, or like, have there been any special challenges or special opportunities that you've had because you're a woman on the job? Is there anything like you'd want to address about that?
Starting Squad 8 with Lacy was easy peasy. She's a great person. We can talk about anything. We handle everything in-house within ourselves if anything is wrong. And we mentor and coach each other. So we did get an opportunity as 2 women to be a part of this project, and it was an awesome thing, awesome part of our career. So there's a lot of things available to women. You just have to want it and apply for it. And the department is looking to diversify every unit, every portion of the department. So
I would say to mirror what Mel is saying, opening Squad 8 and having her like by my side was just an amazing experience. And I think I'd be remiss to not mention the other members of the company made the transition very
100%.
easy. The men in the company were awesome. They're supportive. And like I said, I think it was very helpful that we all started on the same level. And it wasn't, I never felt like I had to prove anything. And, harkening back to what Mel was saying before, be confident in what you're doing. If you want to come into this type of command, you have to have the experience and you have to have the practice in doing the basic skills. You have to have the basic skills down pat. That can't be a question.
Yeah, I think, you both have heart and like drive, and you've really accomplished a lot in your careers. And I think it's, I'm quite impressed by what you've accomplished.
Come on, Chief.
I know it was another thing. I know, Melissa, you were also a DI, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Right? So
yes.
that was, were you one of the first women to be a DI?
I was the first
You were
woman.
the first woman to be a DI.
Yes, everyone was scared of her when the house opened, you know what I mean? So they're gonna get yelled at.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to be the first female DI. Not military. I'm not a big yeller. I usually talk above a whisper, but when I'm in the role, I execute. But just to give you your flowers, you were my instructor when I was in Proby school, and 2 memories that live with me forever. Maybe halfway through, you pulled me to the side and you said, "Listen, keep up the good work, keep doing what you're doing," something of that nature. And then another moment was I was advancing a hose line, and then you said, "All right, fire's behind me, turn this hose line around," and I had to bend it. And your reaction was kind of like, "That's my girl," type of thing. So Maya Angelou said, you probably will never remember what someone said or did, but you're always going to remember how they made you feel. And thank you for that support. And I aim to replicate that feeling. So being a female DI, I'm able to support the women that's there because there's not a lot of women in the academy. So females on the job, wherever the camera is, join. We need instructors at the academy.
Yeah.
And, just a sense of security, somebody for them to speak to, whether it's about hygiene, whether it's about techniques. In the beginning, I'm intense, but through the mentorship portion, I'm there to answer questions and, be that resource that's needed. So that's I love being a DI for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job at that.
Thank you.
I'd see you out there, I'd be like, ooh. I can't thank you 2 enough for coming down today. I really appreciate you being here. I think you have so much to offer to this job. I'm excited to watch you move forward in your careers, and I'm sure the audience was really thrilled to have you 2 here today.
Awesome. And we want to thank you for your inspiration, your motivation. You're barreling through some doors, a lot of firsts on your part.
Yeah.
2 stars or 1 star. Deputy Chief coming soon?
Well,
So
that's an eagle. That's an eagle.
Oh, eagle.
We'll get there. You'll still be around.
But,
down the road,
yeah,
let's
thank
say.
you as
Yeah.
well for paving the way for us.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, we certainly wouldn't be in the positions we are without, mentors and people like you blazing that trail.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. That was a whole lot of fun for me doing that interview. I really enjoyed watching the camaraderie that Melissa and Lacy have. I've also watched them from afar and from up close, watching their careers develop. So it was really exciting to me to have that opportunity to sit down and talk with them. Let's take a look now, though. Last month, in case you missed it, for Black History Month, Captain Brown had sat down with current and retired members of the FDNY who are members of the Vulcan Society. They talked about Black History Month, the FDNY's Vulcan Society, and they also talked about a whole lot more. So let's take a look at that.
The Vulcan Society originated as a result of a need for African American firefighters to organize and confront issues that were plaguing the Black firefighter, sort of like the Jim Crow era, and things that needed to be addressed in a positive way.
In celebration of Black History Month, we are highlighting African American men and women who played an integral role of fire suppression and fire safety that is still being used today. So now I'm gonna speak out some facts, and you tell me if these are facts or fiction. So we're gonna start off with Molly Williams, first African American woman firefighter, 1818. Fact. Thomas J. Marshall, inventor of the fire extinguisher / sprinkler system, 1872. Fact. Captain David Kenyon, sliding pole / pole hole, invented a pole hole that we still use today, 1878.
I'm gonna say that's a fact.
That's a fact too. There you go. That's
a fact.
Thank you for tuning in to the Join FDNY podcast. If you're interested in learning more about the FDNY, I recommend you go and take a look at the FDNY Pro podcast. I was fortunate enough to be interviewed last year with retired Battalion Chief Rocky Jones, and the two of us discussed being battalion chiefs in the FDNY. So if you get a chance, take a look over there and see the Pro FDNY podcast.